It's quarter-final time at the US Open, and we've arrived here without the likes of Novak Djokovic and Carlos Alcaraz, but we still have some top players. And of course, Jannik Sinner has made it, and Daniil Medvedev is looking really good as well. On the women, Sabalenka hitting extremely hard, and Iga doesn't look like she's going to get beaten. Here are our quarter-final predictions.
That's right, people. Quarter-final time is finally here, and I'm super excited. Despite there being no Alcaraz or Djokovic, this is still a very highly anticipated quarter-final. We're going to go through the men's first, and then we're going to take you through the women's. And what better place to start than some of the action that happened last night that we need to speak about. Jannik Sinner going through against Tommy Paul in straight sets. And it sounds like a simple victory for Jannik Sinner against Tommy Paul, but it wasn't really the case. Two very close tie-break sets, which we know that Jannik Sinner, he's like an immense tie-break player right now in this point of his career. He got through those sets, and then the final set was fairly comfortable. But it was a closer three-setter than some people may think, but it still was a straight sets win. And Jannik Sinner right now looks like the man to beat in New York. Would you agree with that, JG?
Not completely, no. I wouldn't say he's the one to beat. I think the big final before the final is Sinner-Medvedev. Medvedev has looked equally as good, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think that is a real tough match to decide the US Open, because I feel like it could be decided on that quarterfinal stage. We'll be previewing that one in a minute. But just on Sinner, Tommy Paul, it was tight, but I felt like Sinner always had that gear when he needed it. And in the tie breaks, he did what he needed to do at the big moments, and Tommy Paul didn't have the answers. I feel like it was a controlled victory by Jannik Sinner, and it was never in jeopardy for me that he was going to drop a set. I had him winning in straight sets, and that's exactly what happened, so my prediction was correct. And I loved the beautiful passing shot he did from behind the baseline in the third set. I don't know if you saw, for him to break Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul pushed him down the line, and then he sort of went cross-court, got the break, and then it was over. From that moment on, you knew Tommy Paul, his head, he checked out completely and didn't want to play tennis no more. Jannik Sinner has got serious chances now to win, but it's just going to come down to this Medvedev one, because he looked equally as good against lesser opposition in Nuno Borges, but won straight sets, love 1 and 3. I thought Borges could have put up more of a test, but Medi was doing what he does best.
Yeah, definitely was. Medvedev looking in crazy form coming into this quarterfinal, and probably just how you'd want to look if you're facing somebody of the level of Jannik Sinner. Taking out Tommy Paul in America, during the night match as well, when it is normally rocking, to do that in straight sets, I think it's a statement victory for Jannik Sinner. And the way he just wins in tie breaks, they were asking him in the post-match press conference about how does he hold his nerve in these big moments, and he sort of always goes back to his youth and skiing, surprisingly enough, and how he says the smallest thing in skiing can cause obviously a big accident. So you have to be so alert, and you can't make any mistakes in skiing. Whereas in tennis, it's a little bit more forgiving. You can actually lose a few points in a tie-break. You don't have to put as much pressure on yourself, and you still have another opportunity to win that tie-break. So I think that's a really good mentality. Trying to do a sport which is much more dangerous and much more, smaller error for margin there, I think that is putting him in good stead come these really difficult parts of sets and matches in Grand Slams where he's able to get it over the line. And he's done it again. More tie breaks. I want to see his tie break record for the year. Hopefully someone will pop that in the comments section.
Yeah, I think margin for error was the word you was looking for.
That's
there,
it.
Ben.
What did I say? Error for margin.
It made me laugh. But yeah, good assessment of Jannik Sinner, and he does do very well in tie breaks. He's the new tie break king. He's taken the crown from Novak Djokovic, who I saw today has had his worst performance over a season in Grand Slam since 2009. Only 16 wins, which is a lot lower than his usual standards. I mean, most people were quite pleased with 16. I was surprised it was that many and it was still one of the lowest, but that just shows how great of a player he is. Obviously, that is when he plays all four, not when he missed one. Where do you want to go to next?
I want to go to this one next because I actually watched the full duration of this match. It was on at like quite a nice time. It was the sort of, I'd say around 10 p.m, taking you through until the Jannik Sinner match. Jannik Sinner won a little bit too late for us in the UK, so he could only catch the start. This one, it was a topsy-turvy match, and Jordan Thompson has to be given some credit because he really, really gave Alex de Minaur a tough match. Like the first set, not so much. It looked like they were levels apart. Alex de Minaur looked like he was the top 10 player, and Jordan Thompson had no answers. I thought it was going to be straight sets if it was going to continue like that. But Thompson, fair play, came back. He actually has turned into such a consistent, really strong player. And the way he took that next set was brilliant. I think his serving looks great. Ground shots are just so solid off both wings. His volleying is exquisite as well, Jordan Thompson.
Always been good, his volleying.
Yeah. But that fourth set, fair play to de Minaur. Grit, determination, and he proved that, and there was a break like either side. He got broken and then broke straight back, I believe, in that fourth set. Now, let me just double check. Yeah, got broken. It went 3-1. He broke him straight back, broke him again. He got broken back. So it was literally nip and tuck all the way, 5-all. And then he eventually broke Jordan Thompson to make it 6-5. And then took it like with ease, the final service game. So well played, de Minaur. A tough test. It doesn't look tough on paper, but Jordan Thompson this year, I think that is a very good victory for Alex de Minaur. And now, the only Australian left in the men's tournament, isn't it?
Yeah, I predicted Thompson to win this match. I thought after the second set he was going to go on and win. Every set was tight there on afterwards, and set 4 was really quite close. He did well, and he's had a fantastic event. I think you'll be quite pleased, and it's a good run. He beat Hubie Hurkacz, which a lot of people wasn't expecting him to do. I thought he had an opportunity here to play sort of a de Minaur at this round. It could be a lot worse. That's what I mean. I don't want to be dismissive to de Minaur. He's a top player, but I feel like I'd rather play de Minaur than say any of the others there on that screen, like a Medvedev, even a Tiafoe, Sinner, Draper. I think de Minaur's probably the last in that pecking order of like the big seeds. So Thompson got fortunate of who he had to play. I thought he might have had a little bit more, but he just didn't have it in the end and went out. Valiant effort nonetheless. And what it's now produced is a fantastic opportunity because de Minaur will be playing Draper in a quarter-final. I don't believe any of them have made a semi-final at a slam before. So a great chance. One of them will make their first semi-final at a Grand Slam level. They're both young, top players. Draper younger, of course. And I'm cheering on Jack Draper, the Brit. I think he'll be the bookie's favourite, maybe.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity for Draper, especially because he's got this massive serve as well. He's going to have to deal with the fact that a lot of more balls are going to be coming back into court than he's used to with Alex de Minaur. I mean, some of the shots he was doing against Thompson, he literally is so quick to the back of the court, side to side. But I think Draper can do it if he hits it hard enough, serves well enough. This is a winnable one. It's weird that we don't have as much to say about Draper's match because it was so easy for him to get past Mahatch. I was surprised it was that easy, but that puts him in great stead. And de Minaur, there's played him 3 times before, and I thought this was quite funny as well. He said, "I've never played Draper in a Grand Slam." Well, their first meeting was at Wimbledon, so he's obviously not got a very good memory. But then he's beaten him the last 2 times after that. He beat him earlier this year when Draper retired in Acapulco. But I don't think we can look too much into that matchup because I think Draper has come on leaps and bounds since then. And I've never seen him in this type of form, especially in a Grand Slam.
He's had a nice draw, though, Ben. He's not had to play with many good players, and Butik was dead on his feet when he played him and gave up. So he's been fortunate. He's not dropped a set, but it's been a nice draw. And we saw what Wozniacki what happened to her. She had a really fantastic draw, got to Haddad Maia and couldn't handle it. So it could be the same thing again with Draper.
Yeah, possibly. We got Damien Kustin here saying Mahatch had a rough day at the office during the match as well. Draper playing the situation correctly, just hitting solid, heavy, serving well. I think that I know what you mean, because Minaur he just won't go away. It's not going to be the same person. I feel like Minaur, even on a bad day, is still really good. And
it's not even that. It's just a better player. Draper's not played anyone of that level. Nowhere close. Mahatch, I guess, is quite a good player, but
top 40.
It's still
not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, Minaur, we're talking top 10 now. So this is someone in good form, somebody who's just beaten Jordan Thompson in impressive fashion as well. Some of the rallies in that Minaur match, oh my word, they were rallying for about 30-shot rallies so many times in that match. And that just goes to show, if Draper wants to get stuck in one of those long rallies with the likes of Alex de Minaur, he better have good fitness to go all the way to a deep 4 hours or so, because if he doesn't, de Minaur will outlast him. So that's our wrap up of the latest men's. Let's have a look at the actual quarterfinals. I think we know which one we're going to be giving our prediction on last, so I will start at the bottom. And here we go. Dimitrov versus Tiafoe, I think we should start with first.
One thing I want to say about the Dimitrov match before you give your prediction, and that is what he's done in the past at Grand Slam level. So he played his first Grand Slam in 2009, got to the first round of Wimbledon and lost, of course. He then he's got to 3 semi-finals in his career. That's the best he's ever got. One in 2014 at Wimbledon, Australian Open 2017, and the US Open in 2019. So he has got to the semi-final of the US Open before. Can he go one step further and just get to a final this year? Is this his year where he's going to get to a Grand Slam final? I think having a career like he has, I think I said it before, I think he's the best player to not win a Grand Slam. And I just want to see him make a final. This is his chance to make a Grand Slam final. And I think people should just be thinking about that while they're watching this match.
Yeah, and you've got to think as well, how much it means to him. You saw how when he's actually able to get to finals, I think it was Paris that he even lost in the final, wasn't it? But the fact he got there, he was so emotional about just even losing in a final still. And it just goes to show that's how much it means to Grigor Dimitrov. You might think, oh, maybe he's a bit of a journeyman. He just likes playing tennis. He earns money for it. It is actually everything to him. He wants these titles. He wants a slam. He wants the big moments to be remembered for. He had the tour final win, but since that, we've not really seen something of that magnitude. This could be his moment. And let me just bring up the head-to-head between these two. So
he's only got one Masters victory as well in 2017, Cincinnati against Nick Kyrgios. That's his only Masters title. He's got 2 losses, 2023 against Djokovic in Paris and 2024 this year, Miami, Jannik Sinner. So he's having a good few years. 2024, probably one of his best years, I'd say.
A good person to be playing as well, I feel. Out of all the people he could be playing in this quarterfinal, he has a winning head-to-head against Francis Tiafoe, 3-1, and he beat him in their last matchup in straight sets at a slam as well. I mean, this is an exciting one, and I'm really rooting. I don't want any Tiafoe fans to think I'm disrespectful in any way, but I'm rooting for Grigor Dimitrov in this match. Obviously, my other half, she is Bulgarian. I've been to Bulgaria many, many times, a lot more times than I've been to America. I'm going to be rooting for Grigor Dimitrov. And am I going to be biased, though? I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to do it, and I think he's going to do it in 4 sets. I don't think he can go to 5. I think if it goes 5, Tiafoe wins. So I think it has to be 4.
Yeah, I agree completely. I've also got Grigor Dimitrov in 4 sets.
Grigor. Love it. Right, on to Draper versus ADM. This one, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going Jack Draper. He gets it done, and I think he gets it done in 4 sets as well.
I'll be cheering on Jack Draper here, but he's not going to win because he's not played anyone up to date. And I think when that happens, you just usually lose the moment you play someone quite good, especially someone like a Jack Draper. So for me, Diminor's going to win, and I'm going to have Diminor in straight sets.
It's a bit of an angry picture they've got on their graphic, isn't it? I quite like it. So Diminor for you in straight sets.
Can I change it? I'll have Diminor in 4.
I mean,
think Draper will take one.
With a big serve like he's got, it's always good for a set. We'll move to the other one. This is a big serving match. It is Taylor Fritz versus Sasha Zverev. The head-to-head between these two, very, very close. 5-4 in favour of Zverev. Fritz won the last one, and that was at Wimbledon earlier this year, and that was in 5 sets, I believe. So maybe a bit of revenge for Zverev, do you think? Or is Fritz going to turn up finally?
I think they win one each. Look, Zverev, Fritz. This one's going to be Zverev. Look.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah.
It's one each all the time. So this is Zverev's turn to win. I can guarantee a tie break or 2. And I'm going to have Zverev winning in 4 sets.
This is the real... this is one of the toughest. There's something that's telling me that Fritz has to do it at some point. He's not meeting Novak Djokovic. You've got to think about this. Every time he gets to a quarterfinal, it was always Novak Djokovic. This time, it's not Novak Djokovic. It's someone you just beat in the last slam. I'm going to go for Taylor Fritz. This is a punt. I know they're going to get a lot of hate in the comments going, idiot. Taylor Fritz in 5.
Mate, I don't think you're going to get much hate.
I think I might.
Say that?
I think that everyone's very big on Zverev in this tournament.
I don't think so. I think this is a really tight one. I don't know how the bookmakers have it, in fact. I'm interested to see.
I'm interested now.
They've got 1.5 Zverev, 7.5... No, it's 2.5 Fritz.
Whoa. I was going to say, I'll take that today. 7.5. Right, and on to the final one. Make sure if you're following at home, tell us your predictions in the comments as well. The big one. This is essentially the final before the final it's being billed as. It's a quarter-final. Medvedev Sinner. Do you want to go first?
Well, I don't know if you've got the head-to-head there because it's really interesting
Yes,
head-to-head. It's probably one of the best ones in tennis. And to really see it, you need to go down. So go down. Let's have a little look at the graphics. So Daniil Medvedev won, was it 6 on the bounce against Jannik Sinner. Then Sinner replied in 2023 and won 5 on the bounce. Now Medvedev has broke the cycle. Is he going to go 5 on the bounce again? He's won 1, so he just needs another 5 to get his 6 on the bounce. I'm going to have Daniil Medvedev knocking out Jannik Sinner. I think he is a silent assassin going through the draw. Nobody's talking about him enough. Everyone's expecting Sinner, I think, to win this one. But I'm definitely not. And I think, because you even said it in the intro, you riled me up by starting with that, saying, oh, Sinner, you expect him to win now. Not a chance. Of course, he is the favourite, but Medvedev, I think, will win this match. And it's going to be 5 sets. And Medvedev in 5.
Well. There you go. It's so tough to call. Like you said, Daniil Medvedev has been playing exceptionally well, creeping through. No one's talking about him. Dangerous for Jannik Sinner. Everybody's talking about Jannik Sinner, but I think the way he's holding his temperament in this tournament, Jannik Sinner, and the one thing that I think he holds over the likes of Daniil Medvedev is the tie breaks. We've seen it with him against Medvedev in tie breaks before, and I think it could be the winning factor in this matchup. And I think Jannik Sinner will defeat him, and I think it will be in 4 sets, but we are going to see 3 tie breaks.
Yeah, it's a match everyone needs to watch. Like, make sure you block out your calendar to watch this match. It's going to be epic. We'll see the highest level of tennis at the US Open. It's going to be some long rallies as well. It could be easily a 5-hour plus match. And I'm going to have Daniil Medvedev coming through it.
You got to think as well, the winner of that match will have to play the winner of Diminor versus Draper. So they're nearly a shoo-in for the final, essentially, I think, if whoever wins this match, because the other two don't have the experience at that level, and I don't think they're as strong as either of these two on this surface. And on the other side, well, Dimitrov, no better chance. Come on, son. You can do it. Right, let's move on to the women's quickly, because I know we spent quite a while on the men's. So we'll start on the left-hand side. We've got Iga and Pegula, and they will face either Haddad, Maia or Muchova. And then we move over to the right-hand side, and we've got Badosa and Navarro, and they'll face either Zheng or Sabalenka. So those are our final 8 competitors on the women's. Exciting. And who did we have go through yesterday? It was Iga Swiatek. Fantastic performance. I thought it might go to 3 because Samsonova's a hard hitter. Didn't even come close. She battered her 6-4, 6-1. And the real Iga has returned in the US Open. Scary prospect for Pegula because we know she can fall apart at this stage of the competition anyway. Do we give Pegula any shot in this matchup?
Well, this is the best stat, I think, so far, and it is Iga has not faced a single break point for 3 consecutive WTA main draw matches for the first time in her career.
Wow.
Insane, because usually with Iga matches, we see her face break points always, and then she sort of comes through and wins the match, and there's a bit of jeopardy. She gets broken from time to time. Just not even facing break points, I mean, doesn't bode well for anyone, does it? And the only person I think not going to be worried is Sabalenka, because it doesn't matter who she's playing. If she plays her game, she wins anyway. Pegula's going to be quaking in her boots, I fear. And I can see this one only being one way. And I'll be shocked if Pegula takes a set. I can even give you a score prediction. I reckon it will be a 3 and a 2 for Iga.
Wow. If we have to be reminded of their last match, Pegula will want to forget it. It was at the WTA finals last year. 6-1, 6-love was the last time they played. Terrible. And that was just after she actually beaten Iga in Montreal. I don't see it going any other way either. I think Iga will defeat Pegula. I think it probably will be straight sets as well. When Iga's in this type of form, I don't think Pegula has the weapons to trouble her, sadly for her. But looking at some of the other names who are sort of unexpected, I'd say, some of these people. Badosa, did we expect her to be this deep in the draw? Maybe
Muchova.
not. And Muchova and Haddad Maia, that's probably the one which is the turn up for the books, I'd say. Let's go to that one next. And obviously, Haddad Maia's your girl. She got past Karolina Wozniacki. Would you say Haddad Maia's had a fairly fortunate draw as well? Or would you just say that she's back in form, playing well?
You'll have to remind me of the draw completely.
Okay,
But I know the last round was not the worst against Wozniacki.
So it was Avanesian in the first round where she dropped a set. I'll just pop it up on the screen for you. And then she beat Sorribes Tormo in straight sets, Kalinskaya in straight sets, and then Wozniacki in 3.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I think Kalinskaya is a really good player, so did well. But that was that dodgy decision which got in Kalinskaya's head. She's been fortunate with some of the decisions that's happened this tournament, like that whole situation with the VAR the other day. I think's really helped her. And there was people saying, why don't we address her reaction? She probably should have owned up. She probably should have owned up in hindsight, and we didn't touch on
another Draper.
Yeah, I think she did know, if I'm totally honest. Aside from that, I'm not talking about the incident. Haddad Maia, she's got to where she has. I think Muchova's going to be the favourite, because if she's fit, she's a better player than Haddad Maia, definitely. The question marks around Muchova is she fit? Is she going to pull out injured? How's she feeling? But a physical, fully fit Muchova, for me, is a top 5 player in the world. So on that basis, I'm assuming she's going to be feeling well and she's going to win this match, but in 3 sets. I think Haddad Maia might take one.
Yeah, they did play in Cincinnati last year. It was 3 sets in that one as well. Muchova came through. I think this one, I expect it to be more convincing. I think Muchova looks really, really good in this tournament so far. Probably, I'd say the standout performer for me on this Women's US Open. I know there's been a lot of good players, but for somebody who's come through this draw, she's beaten Volynets, Osaka, Potapova and Paolini. Doesn't get much tougher for a draw, and she's done that in really, really great form, like not dropped a set yet. I mean, that is crazy. I think that she's going to win this one in straight sets against Haddad as well. And Iga, better watch out, because Muchova, if she can take a set off you on the clay of Roland Garros, she can damn sure take 2 sets off you in the US Open.
Yeah, so. What's interesting as well is for our top 10 at the start of the year, you had Muchova, I had Haddad in there, so it was a real big GTL matchup where I need Haddad to win, because if she wins, it's going to propel herself even higher through the rankings. Same with Muchova, I'm sure she'll pick up a lot of points too. So for sure. I need Haddad badly. Yeah,
I mean Muchova, I'm interested to see where she'd be in the live rankings at the moment. I mean, I think she's still fairly low at the moment, but if she was to go really
92
deep,
she is at the moment.
Okay, but if she was to win the tournament, where would she go up to? That would be an
3,
interesting.
4, 6. She would
top 20.
2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, top 20.
That's pretty. And still more tennis to play. Come on, Karolina.
Haddad Maia if she wins the tournament.
Well,
7th. Ooh, just.
That would be mad if that happens.
I need Haddad to win.
Okay, on to the next one. Paula Badosa versus Emma Navarro. This one, I mean, it's a pick'em for me. I'm not sure how the bookies have this one, actually.
Navarro's at her career high. She's currently inside the top 10, for those who don't know. She's now a top 10 player, 23 years old, and is flying the flag for America. You could say Pegula, but I actually prefer Navarro to Pegula. I think she's got more chances. And Navarro just beaten the reigning champion Coco Gauff. She's going to be full of energy. She's going to be feeling herself and confident. So we'll see. But I think she's going to win it.
Well, there you go. Pegula, I can announce she is now the highest ranked female American on the tour. Again, she overtakes Coco Gauff. And, well, Badosa is the favourite, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. I'm actually shocked that she is the favourite in this matchup. I think if you want an outside bet, then Navarro is a brilliant outside bet. However, I think I gave my prediction on this. I think we spoke about it before. Yesterday, I'm going for Paula Badosa to win this one in 3 sets.
Yeah, I'm going the other way. Navarro in 3 sets.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Navarro in straights I think I had yesterday. Okay. So I'm going to stick with her.
No problem. We said you were allowed to change if needed on this episode.
I want to stick with it. Navarro in straights.
Okay, so moving on to Sabalenka versus Zheng. Some people may say that this is the one, this is the best matchup. Do I think that Zheng's going to be able to do it? I don't. That's my personal opinion. We spoke about on the last episode. I think Sabalenka is too strong. I think and it's just on her racket. We've said it so many times, I don't want to keep repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
But I believe that she will defeat Qinwen Zheng. And I think it will be, I can't remember if I said straight sets. I think it'll be straight sets. I'll go straight sets.
Yeah. I'm sticking with straight set Sabalenka as well. So there you go. That is our quarterfinal predictions for the men and the women. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And we'll be back maybe later on for some kind of reaction if anything happens wild. But for sure, tomorrow we'll be here speaking US Open again.
That's it. See you then.